Welcome to the Spare Parts Racing Podcast, your podcast for all things motorsports. With your hosts, Sean Chavarella, Stephen Clary, and Taylor Moore.
Hear that music?
Hello and welcome to another week's episode of Spare Parts Racing. I'm your host, Sean.
I'm Steven.
And I'm Taylor.
And before we begin, we have a little statement. We can confirm that we have not made any complaint to the FIA regarding the allegation or information of a confidential nature. Okay, no, I'm not going to actually do that. But anyway, so welcome to the show. Some stuff has happened the last week, and yeah, motorsports is fun, especially on social media. It's basically the only time it is. So without further ado, can we talk about that shit that I was just referencing with the...
Yes.
Yes.
The weird shit.
So who understands what the hell happened there?
No idea.
I have no idea other than I don't know. Like what's the tea? Like I don't get it.
So
Who was telling things to who?
Susie and Toto were told things, and then all the teams were like, nope, wasn't us.
Oh wait. Okay, hold on. Now I'm understanding. Okay, now I'm remembering something. I think actually I had a conversation about this with Peter the other day. And he said that Susie was on some sort of committee about something that I'm not remembering now. And I guess Toto has a big mouth and blabbed about something, because it's assumed that Susie may have told him about this conversation in some committee that she was on, because she was part of the FIA at that point or something. And then Toto blabbed about it, being Toto. I think something like that. Does that make sense? Maybe. I don't know.
At the end of the day, was this really a big deal that all of the F1 world needed to get all up and freak out about, and then every single team needed to make a statement saying they didn't talk to anyone?
Apparently. Which is weird, because wasn't it also in regards to F1 Academy, the women's series, which I was like, why would this have any effect on Formula One? They never look at women drivers.
Ouch.
I mean, are we wrong?
No, you're not wrong. Just because you're right doesn't mean that
It's not an ouch.
yeah.
I don't know. I just don't see what crossover of information would be giving Toto a competitive advantage.
I tried to follow this.
So,
I really did, and I tried to look into it, and I'm like, I'm lost here. I do not understand what we are complaining about, what a possible advantage, or why there needs to be an investigation. It just seems like something that's unnecessary, and maybe it was unnecessary, and just we as F1 fans are so I would say deprived of anything fun this year that we just kind of jumped on with it and was like, okay, great. And then when all the teams started to make the exact same statement, it was just bonus, because as we see, there is no creativity in F1, and everyone just does whatever the fuck they want, apparently. Not really.
yeah. Everyone got really itchy really quick because there's no more racing.
Yeah. And now we're probably not going to hear anything for at least 2 months.
Yeah.
Taylor looks very confused reading something.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm still trying to figure out what the actual heck went on with this.
Nothing makes sense.
Nothing makes sense. And I'm trying to figure out where Peter would have gotten this information from, but I'm like, I can't even find it. And I'm like, I don't know. Whatever it was, weird. And yeah, I think you guys are right. We're just so deprived of anything interesting in motorsports right now that we're all just like, conflicts of interest? Ooh.
Wasn't there a point where Susie Wolf was on another fucking team while married to Toto Wolff? and yet there's no conflict of interest in that.
I know.
Right.
I think the issue was that, like, I think it was before her involvement with F1 Academy where this is stemming from, I think. Oh, okay, now I remember.
Now it's coming to
Okay.
you? Okay.
Now it's coming to me. Okay,
A
so
quick
she was
disclaimer:
on
this
the
could
committee.
be bullshit. Just want to point this out.
This could be. Apparently. Allegedly. Okay, here, I'll start this with allegedly. She was on the committee that was looking into she was part of the FIA that was looking into the cost cap stuff. And the allegation was that Toto knew about the cost cap stuff and blabbed about it before everybody else knew about it. So he was wondering where the heck they were all wondering where the information came from, because Susie was on the committee that was looking into the cost cap breach and reached the conclusion that Red Bull had gone over the cost cap. Now, the other thing apparently is that these allegations rose potentially from like conversations that Toto was having, maybe with the wrong person. I don't know. So Toto probably opened his. I don't know. Big questions. Again, this could be complete and utter BS. Do not know. But now I'm remembering what the context was. It would kind of make sense if it was cost cap stuff.
Would it? Not saying you're
Again,
wrong, but I'm just saying, like, would that really be an advantage to be like think like, oh, they may have gone over or something like that? Like, I don't.
There's
don't
no
understand
advantage to that
the
because,
hullabaloo.
like, yeah, like I don't think there's any issue. Like to me, there's no issue. So I still don't know why it would have been like a problem
Like, there was an
if they
investigation.
did talk about it. Yeah, and they said it was fine.
I'm
So I don't
confused,
know. I think it's just stupid. The whole thing was stupid.
basically. Anyway, that was kind of some of the fun for the week. Did anyone else pay any attention to any other news in motorsports? Because I got a lot to talk about that's come up, and I feel like I was the only person who's like still plugged into the racing world here.
I'm so sorry.
God
yeah,
damn, you
like
guys
I've
disappoint
been.
me.
I'm
Oh.
sorry.
Okay.
Hello, it's the holiday season. I'm very much invested in the holidays.
Fuck your holidays. Anyway, okay, so the first bit of news I think we should talk about. Too aggressive. I'm sorry. You
A little
can
too
have your
aggressive.
holidays. Indycar made an announcement last week that they are going to push back the hybrid development or the hybrid implementation in their cars until after the Indy 500 next year.
Which is interesting.
Okay, interesting.
It's a stupid decision is what it is.
I wasn't going to say stupid right away, but yeah, it is stupid. You're basically changing the regulations
Mid-season.
in season.
Like, why?
And adding extra
what?
cost.
Yeah.
That's so dumb.
Yeah.
That's really dumb.
Well, it's because they don't have it ready.
I'd rather just say, okay, we'll put it in next year.
Yeah.
Or
yeah,
like
just
2025.
Save it.
Or scrap it.
Just put it in 2025. Simple as
Give
that.
yourself another year.
So-
Why would you introduce something midway through the season? That's so stupid. Ah.
It's let's be honest. It's like a quarter through the season. The Indy 500 is not midway. It's like
True,
3 races in.
Oh
So,
yeah, true. I
it's-
keep forgetting how big of a break there is between
know.
like the first race and like the second race of the IndyCar season.
So it's not that big of a deal, but no, it is still pretty fucking stupid to just be like, we're gonna have this rule set to the 500, and then after the 500, we're gonna go with this rule set. Personally, I would love to see the hybrids on the oval.
I was just about to say, like, your most iconic race of the entire season, and you're gonna wait till after to make any changes. Wherein it would have been really cool to see any changes
Yep. And
At the Indy 500.
I'm pretty sure the hybrid system that they're implementing is some kind of like similar KERS system, where it's like when you're like every time you brake, it generates power of the kinetic friction. Basically, it's it's not really hybrid, but it's adding extra battery to then be used as extra power. So they're adding that. Like, that'd be fun on oval, because I think you could have some really interesting strategy when it came to that at the 500. Because maybe you're closing in on a guy, you don't want to pass him just yet. You tap the brake a bit, slow down a tiny little bit, gain some energy, and you can deploy it later. But no, we're not going to have that. We're going to have the same old 500 we've had for the last few years, which has been okay. And then Indycar is going to then develop it after. But this just goes to the whole... I don't want to say Roger Penske owning Indycar has been a failure. But Roger Penske owning Indycar has not helped the sport. Like, I would argue that every single move Indycar has made since Penske took over has basically been trying to hold it steady or not rock the boat. It is to keep it going in the same direction it was, which was poorly. Like, it's heading to the rocks. The IndyCar ship is heading to the rocks. We changed captains. Pun intended. And we're still pointing there. We may be going there slower or not. Depends on the wind of the world. But we're still aiming at the rocks. There isn't really a bold move I've seen from the Penske leadership of IndyCar that has actually made me think the sport's heading in the right direction.
You're thinking it's more like it's just death by 1,000 cuts sort of thing.
I think it's a death by cowardice to do anything that's bold. We need a game. Let's go with the company that's making the game for everyone else. That makes sense. We need to change our engines. Well, let's put a hybrid in because that just makes sense. Like, there's nothing that, or let's attract a third engine manufacturer. Well, you can't because you're not doing anything that's bold enough for an engine manufacturer to be like, yeah, I'll try that. You know what's really fucking bold? WEC and IMSA. We're going to make the highest level of sports car racing amalgamated, so you can race in either series. That's bold. New hypercar classes, new spending in that. It's amazing how many teams and manufacturers have jumped to that ship. But no. IndyCar has its same old chassis from 10 years ago.
Like 12 or 13 now, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll be entering its 12th season in 2024.
Jesus.
So same old chassis, same old engine, but we're going to add a hybrid system. We're going to shoehorn it in to fit this. Ooh, we put an aero screen. Congrats. Everyone did. Either Halo or aero screen, and you did it.
But we have a NASCAR All-Star race. I'm sorry, IndyCar All-Star race. Minor slip of the tongue.
Again, you're doing stuff that's been done before.
And isn't even that well loved to begin with.
It's like NASCAR going with, oh, we're going to go something that's been done before in other sports. We're going to have playoffs.
Quarters.
Yeah, or now quarters or periods and stages. Motorsports is motorsports. It is... You can't be complacent and stagnant in motorsports. You have to keep the ball moving or the wheel turning. Hey, is that better?
No.
Oh, come on. Like, I see everything like that Penske has done is just not want to do anything that upsets anyone. You know, we're just going to play it safe, do what everyone else is doing. And did it work out? Newsflash, it hasn't. And then, on top of that this week, Honda's like, yeah, we may leave IndyCar. If the cost...
Oh my gosh.
Did you guys not see that?
No, I didn't
For
see any
fuck's
of this.
sakes.
I'm sorry.
So yeah, Honda's
You're
Honda's
literally
now
giving
saying.
us all the tea now.
I know. So Honda's now saying, they may leave IndyCar because it costs too much money. Because which is basically telling IndyCar, find a third engine manufacturer,
Mm-hmm.
or we're out, and then you're only down to one engine manufacturer who will then have to eat all the costs. And if that engine manufacturer is even thinking of dipping a toe into F1, that's not going to fucking happen. So then you may see the entire series just do this. Pop. Because no engines, no cars.
Wow. They're like literally heading for a disaster and they just
Yes.
Wow.
And the solution is
Gosh.
we're going to put hybrids in the cars. There is no word on new chassis in IndyCar. There is no word on, like, isn't there supposed to be new engines 2026? Which is like a 2.4 liter, I think. It's not even. Which, given how IndyCar is currently going, it's going to be probably pushed back to like 2028 or some shit.
Pushed back indefinitely.
What is?
No, that's what I'm saying. It'll just end up being pushed back indefinitely.
Yeah. Yeah, because right now you're having so much car count in IndyCar, which is great for the series, but the engines can't keep up with it. So it's great you have all these chassis out there, but if you can't power them,
Yeah.
then what's the point? So, IndyCar needs to make some changes. Now as I'm telling you all this, what would you guys want to see? What if you had a minute with Roger Penske, or 2 minutes, and you're saying, like, okay, this is the bold stroke you need to go. What would you want to tell him to get him to either make a change or convince him that this is a change that must be made? What would you want to say? Anyone? Bueller?
Oh my gosh. Excuse me.
I'm watching Taylor think.
Steven, you're supposed to be thinking
Stop.
too.
Well, I mean, okay, so while Taylor's thinking, I mean, you already hit on some of the major points of need a new chassis, need another manufacturer, and you're already seeing one that's in your backyard jump ship to Europe with Ford.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, I want to, I want to see a big swing, but it's almost like you need to do a couple little things right first, and those are the little things of new chassis, extra manufacturer, before I want to see anything else. Not a whole, like, that's basically just echoing what you say, I know, but, like,
Well, I feel
realistically.
But I think that, I mean, I would argue though that, like, yeah, sure, we could just like sit here and reiterate what Sean says, but I think like Sean made a good point about like what needs to change to actually move IndyCar forward, instead of bringing in these new regulations after like the Indy 500, you know, putting a hybrid in the car and not doing the little things first. Like they're putting their foot, they're like basically chopping their own foot off before they can actually get like start running.
Yes, kind of.
I don't know if I'd have any suggestions really for Roger Penske because I don't know that much about IndyCar to be able to formulate like an actual like articulate, hey, this is a great suggestion. So
I think step one is don't be afraid to spend money.
Yeah.
Well, you can't. You have to spend money to get results. You get what you pay for, basically.
But look at all the IndyCar teams. They're already in all the other fucking series, and they spend way more on those series than they do IndyCar. Yet IndyCar is their main pull for sponsors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess like one other thing that we haven't touched on yet is maybe going after the South American market, because that's come up multiple times, like getting a race into Argentina.
Yeah, we have talked about that quite a few times.
That's expanding
Mexico
where
the races happen. Yeah.
Yep.
And trying to pull from different audiences.
Yep, because was it? I mean, well, obviously F1 races there, Formula E races in Mexico, right?
Mm-hmm.
Formula One races in Brazil, but you can attack other countries and try and get races.
I don't think you should use the term attack other countries when it comes to South America right now.
Or the states in general, yeah, that's fair.
I feel like too, like
there's so much more, like, even outside of the cars that they're not doing, that they're like actively torpedoing IndyCar as a
Yes.
brand, right? Like, we've talked so many times about the fact, like, moving half the races to Peacock only, or TSN Plus in our case. It's
Yeah.
stupid. Like, you're losing a whole bunch of, like, when you lose the accessibility of IndyCar, then people, like, don't want to watch it. They don't want to pay for additional streaming services. Very often we just can't get them in Canada. And it makes it, like, it's just super frustrating for fans. And at when you're making those kinds of moves to try and get, like, more money, you end up losing money in the end, in the long run. So there's a bunch of different things, like, they don't market IndyCar well at all.
Speaking of accessibility in IndyCar, did
Oh,
you
boy.
did you see the cost for a general admission ticket at the Thermal Club?
The Thermal Club?
Oh, it was something stupid. I remember.
Yeah.
That's where they're
What
doing
is the
the
Thermal
all.
Club?
That's what they're doing.
It's the $1 million
All-Star
challenge.
race. Or yeah, $1 million challenge. Whatever. It's an all-star race.
Right. Oh, right. Yes. This whole thing.
Anyway.
It's like basically yeah, okay.
Do you want to know how much
What
a
is it?
general admission ticket is?
How much?
Something stupid.
Give
Is
a
this gonna
guess.
be like a Vegas number?
Give a guess. One ticket.
$5,000. $5,000.
10 grand?
It's $2
Or
grand.
no, was it 2 grand?
But still,
What? That's
for
still
a
crazy.
general admission ticket.
For
One day?
Yeah.
For one day?
If you're a member of the track, it's only $300.
Oh
But
my gosh.
If you're a member
For-
at a track, you probably have a good amount of income to begin with. So
Yeah.
Oh, it's $300 for the people who probably have millions because they're members of a track. Like, give me oh my gosh. I love the
Anyway.
accessibility of motorsports.
The time that I actually loved IndyCar the most is when every single practice and qualifying session was free on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what, like 2012 to like 2014 era? That was great. Showed you had people there who actually understood where the markets were going, where people's interest was. And, you know, it was just like that. And like all this is saying, the thing I would actually do to change IndyCar, despite all of this stuff, I wouldn't even do anything like that. I wouldn't make a new chassis. I wouldn't say new engine. This is where I would go with this. Steven, why are you laughing?
sorry, I'm just reading. I looked up how much is it for a membership at Thermal Club. It's $1,200 a month. No wonder your ticket's only $300 with a $175K initiation fee. And I'm sure that's gone up because this article is from it's from early or the beginning of the year.
That hurts my soul.
So,
I'm sorry.
And I mean,
75.
if you're gonna get a membership at a track, you're gonna have a bunch of nice cars. So,
Why is this only a $1
let's-
million challenge?
What the hell?
Anyway, this is sad.
What do these people do for a living? Like, what? Ugh. I love how the members get the tickets for $300. Ridiculous. Oh.
I hope this event just pays for IndyCar's entire season.
yeah, as long as they spend more money afterwards, and yeah.
Yeah. But here's my solution for IndyCar. Because I actually saw this from a Zach Brown clip on a podcast. I can't remember the podcast name. It was one of those like reels where they have like clips of podcasts and stuff, obviously, right? So, because like it wasn't actually the podcast itself, it was someone else that stole it. But the thing Zach Brown was saying in F1, what he wants to see with the cost cap is open the regulations. Do whatever the hell you want to do in the cost cap. That is the philosophy you need to bring to IndyCar. Say you can spend this amount of money per car on your team. Say it's like, I don't know, you get to spend $5 million a year in your car. You can then modify or change whatever you want as long as you spend in that $5 million. You can have a whole different chassis, same engine as everyone else. Or you can have different engine. You can experiment. You can bring something different as long as it fits in XYZ parameter, like a little box, and is under that cost cap. Why can't IndyCar do that? And bring minds to that sport, bring people who are, thinking outside the box, want to actually make the Indy 500 a proving ground and testing ground again? Do that.
Not to mention draw money in. Because what was the biggest thing with the cost cap once it got introduced to F1?
What?
Well, we can spend our money elsewhere.
Yep.
It's only going to keep going down, so...
Yeah.
You should very much be like, yeah, we'll take F1's money.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, idiots.
Or you want to put maybe some other fucking engine in the back of your car. If maybe it has to fit like a specific dimension of engine space in your vehicle. Fine, do that. Put whatever the hell you want in the back of that thing. If you can somehow put a inline 4 engine and make that thing go 200 miles per hour, go for it. Have fun. Experiment. IndyCar is not fun anymore.
Yeah.
IndyCar seems to be toys for rich men, which again, not to saying that the other ones are not that as well. But,
every form of sport is toys for
yes,
rich men.
But they're moving away from the accessibility of the fans, accessibility of what their partners find reasonable, like Honda and Dallara running, I guess, a decades-old chassis. So if you want to make a difference, do something like that. That could be the spark and the bold stroke to save your sport.
And now this will all be lost to the ether.
Exactly. Listen, it's mostly out there to be like, hey, I told you so in 2028 when IndyCar is still running the same fucking chassis.
We'll look back and be like, do you remember when we talked about this?
Remember?
Do you remember at the end of 2023 when we were talking about IndyCar using the same chassis in 2028? Guess what? They still are. That is 5 years away.
Still are.
5 years.
Ew.
It's actually more like 4, actually, at this point. In
2028 is not a year.
In 4 years,
It's not a
IndyCar
year.
using the same chassis.
Honestly, at this rate, probably.
I think they will. They're allergic to spending money.
But you have to, and that's the thing, you have to spend money if you want better results. It's just the way it works. Especially in motorsports, it's the way it works.
And I guess in other IndyCar news, because honestly it was a pretty heavy IndyCar weekend when it came to news. Callum Ilott found his seat. He's no longer in IndyCar. He went to WEC with Joda, which
Okay.
I actually
Didn't
think
we
is a good
say
spot for him.
that, yeah, didn't we say maybe he'd end up in WEC? I feel like we had a conversation about that.
I think we said something like that because based on his statement where he said like, "Oh, my time in IndyCar was good," yada yada. So.
Yeah, good for him though. I think he's gonna enjoy that. WEC's it's an interesting series to be in. So
yeah,
I think it'll be good, and I hope for good things for him. Maybe better results than what he saw in IndyCar.
Agreed. So yeah, he is going there. What else in IndyCar? Sponsorship news. So Andretti has lost the nice yellow DHL sponsor that they've had for checks notes.
Ooh.
Fucking ever.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is now going to be a Ganassi sponsor, DHL.
Interesting. Okay.
Most importantly, it's Alex Palou's sponsor.
Yes.
Which, so when you look at it that way, not really surprising.
Yeah.
May as well attach it to the flashiest name in the sport. So.
Yeah, would make sense. But okay,
Yeah, so
interesting.
Plo will be driving the DHL car next year?
I'm going to have to like really work hard at reminding myself it's not Grosjean anymore.
Yes.
Because I
Well,
was
it's
like,
gonna
oh, look, that's Grosjean.
well, it's gonna be
Grosjean will
very
in the
simple.
Indycar's car.
Yeah. Well, and it's also going to be very simple. That car will be at the front and it won't randomly like just go to the back at the end of every race unless maybe Andretti was the curse the entire time. Or sorry,
Ooh.
DHL was the curse the entire time.
No, it could have been
What
Andretti.
if Alex Palou?
It could
What
also
if
have
Alex
been
Palou
Andretti.
has the worst season and it's just the DHL?
What if Grosjean wins with Yunkos?
Oh my gosh.
That'd be hilarious.
Oh my gosh. That'd be so funny. Then we would have to start talking about curses.
Yeah, but I will say when it comes to DHL leaving Andretti, I think that is a case that Andretti is running, because they're only running 3 cars, right? So, something's got to give on your sponsorship there, right? Because what they have,
Yeah.
what's his name, Kirkwood, who his sponsors were what, AutoNation and what else?
No, I always just remember AutoNation.
I know Herta's the Group 1001 sponsor. Now I gotta think who's the final Andretti missing? Herta, Kirkwood. Who am I missing? Steven, help me out.
I was trying to look up his sponsors.
Okay, damn it! Who is the last Andretti? Son of a bitch, it's Ericsson. It's amazing though how, if you look at Andretti in what 2014, what their cars were to now, they lost DHL as a sponsor. They had Snapple. They had what else do they have? Snapple, DHL, Napa. All these big brands have slowly dropped off Andretti.
It's a worry in the short term. Long term, if they get into F1, they just become another McLaren where they get brand deals across both. So
Also, they had GoDaddy at one point.
yeah, well, that was with Hinch and Danica, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah.
So, but yeah, like as long as they get a resolution on getting into F1, I wouldn't be too worried about sponsorship loss. Again, very worrying in the short term, but I don't think it'll be a problem in 2 years' time if Andretti finally gets his fucking F1 team, which, like, hurry the fuck up.
It would be great for his sponsors, though, to do like basically what McLaren does and just have it for both.
Yeah.
Though I don't know if they have as much for the IndyCar side. Like I don't see Google on any McLaren's IndyCar anytime soon.
No.
Those are still mostly Arrow, right?
Yeah. But like Arrow is on both, right? That's when
That's
crossed over. I'm sure there's probably a whole bunch if you went on. Let's see if you go on McLaren.
It is interesting. Most teams next year in IndyCar are running either 3 cars, 2 cars. But like any of the big teams are running 3. One team is running 5 full-time cars. And yeah, Andretti, Arrow, Meyer Shank, Rahal, and Penske all running 3.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Which is, I kind of like that number though for teams running. If you had like what, 11 teams running 3 cars each, that'd be really fun. Field all year round, 33 cars. Maybe have pre-qualifying for races, or guys get sent home. That would be a compelling sport. If you were not guaranteed to race every weekend, sponsors would hate that. 100%.
Oh yeah, 100%. but
Also, next year for IndyCar, 6 rookies.
Oh,
No, sorry, never mind. 5
Oh, right.
rookies. Christian Rasmussen's just on there twice.
oh,
yeah, why is he on there twice?
what the heck?
Yeah, because he's not.
Oh,
Yeah.
because he's a separate car. Okay, because he's a separate car
Okay.
for Indy 500.
Which makes 0 fucking sense.
Well, Ed's got to get his Indy race in.
I want to punch Ed Carpenter in the face so much for just never. He's gonna be like 60 and still trying.
Oh my gosh.
Give it up, Ed, give it up. But yeah. What else do I have in the news? Was there anything else? Got that. Sponsor
IndyCar
thing.
heavy week.
Seems like that. Yeah, I feel like that's all I got in terms of the news and stuff. I could go on a rant with the whole Shohei Ohtani thing, but I feel like that's been beaten to death already.
Oh my gosh.
Could Shohei Ohtani?
Everyone.
How many games would Shohei Ohtani need to play in order to get membership at Thermal? The answer is 1 game.
How many IndyCar teams can Shohei Ohtani field?
He could buy this fucking series from Roger, I'm pretty sure, with 1 fucking...
Game or year?
Yeah, but like
No, 1
isn't-
year.
Yeah, 1 year post
Isn't,
when he
like-
actually plays.
But like isn't like a majority of his money being like weirdly saved to the end of his contract so that
Yeah.
like the
is.
Dodgers
No,
can
it's
like
after his
cecily
contract.
Yeah.
So he's
That's
gonna play.
so
He's
sus.
gonna
Like-
pay. He's playing for 10 years for $20 million, and then
Wow.
after that, he gets the rest of his $680 million when he no longer has to play.
That's so ridiculous. Like
I
that's
saw-
so I'm sorry, but how is that like legal in the MLB? Like
I don't
that's whack.
The MLB money rules don't count. That's how it's always been.
I saw this
Like he's
shirt
getting
on
$2
Twitter.
million a year. Ridiculous.
Tax dodgers, that's
The
good.
LA Tax Dodgers. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is.
I mean,
amazing.
yeah, he's gonna move somewhere that just has like fuck, move to Texas or Florida afterwards.
Or
Mhm.
back to Japan.
I don't know what Japan's taxes are like,
No idea.
but then maybe he'll want to stay here. But who knows? Either way, like
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
when
money.
you make the rest of your 700 or sorry, when you get your $680 million after, you can afford to live in whatever cheap state for half the year and then go live in Japan the other half.
And Steven, what did you tell me the other day about Shohei Ohtani?
I don't know, what did I tell you?
How old is he?
Oh, he's our age, yeah. Fucking
Oh.
terrifying.
Wait, what?
Oh,
He's
yeah.
only like 28.
He's 28?
Okay, hold on. He's
or
28.
or he might be 29.
might-
Either way, he's 29 now.
Still, yeah. Oof, that hurts the soul, eh?
There's just like so many questions. And this whole situation is so weird, but all right, whatever. I'm just gonna go cry.
Honestly, I should have gone to Vegas.
Oh.
I mean, I wouldn't have gone anywhere, but like,
Did you ever, I was going to say, did you ever play baseball in a way that was like somewhat competitive to a level of like going through the levels?
no, I played 2 years of baseball in the
Okay.
house. 2 years house league baseball,
Okay.
and I was the catcher.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Use with that how you will. But yeah.
Okay.
Just trying to check and see if there's any other new stuff I missed. Cody Ware is back in NASCAR. Apparently, he got reinstated.
Yeah.
Which
Not surprising.
I mean, fine, Rick. You can put your kid back in the car, but do you really want to? Do ya? Yeah. Anyway. Is that all we got?
Yeah, I'm just reading tax stuff on
That's fair.
Ohtani now and luxury
Fair
cap.
Okay, so Depata runtime. You want to have a talk about Christmas movies while we're
Christmas movies, sure.
What's the best Christmas movie?
Oh. Ooh. Mm.
Die Hard.
Not a Christmas movie.
Stop.
It's a Christmas
Stop.
It's not.
No, it's not.
Terrible fucking
Just
take.
because it's set at Christmas time, it is not a Christmas movie. It
Home
does not
Alone.
have the Christmas spirit. Home Alone is a good option.
That is a good option. Hot take: the second Home Alone is better than the first.
movie. Lost in New York.
I've never seen the second one.
He throws
You
a
haven't-
brick at a guy's head from 4 stories up. How have we not seen that?
I'm sorry.
Donald
I'm
Trump
sorry,
shows
I
up
haven't
for like
seen that
5
one.
seconds out of nowhere.
He helps a kid. He
You
says,
know, that
over there.
actually isn't selling.
I have to
Yeah,
little boy
that
named
doesn't
Kevin
sell it for me to wanna
McAllister.
I would put in an argument for Love Actually. Very good Christmas movie. It's not my favorite of all time, but it is a very good Christmas movie.
You know
It's a
what?
very close first.
I'm gonna pull a Die Hard on that one,
gosh.
Taylor, and that's not a Christmas movie.
Yes,
Just
it is. What are you
because
talking
it
about?
takes place during Christmas
It's
does
all
not-
about Christmas.
doesn't. No, it's about love.
It is
Uh,
all about Christmas.
It's a
No,
rom-com. It's
okay,
a rom-com
yes, but
around
in-
Christmas. It is not a
But
Christmas.
it's in the spirit of
movie.
Christmas.
No.
No, yes, it is. What are you talking about, Sean? I cannot speak to you. I cannot speak to you anymore.
It's not a
this
Christmas-
is unbelievable. How could you say this about?
I am.
It is a Christmas
listen,
movie for sure.
I am
it
just-
literally it's like at Christmas time. We are honest, and then it's really that moment is really creepy,
Listen,
but it's all
listen,
about Christmas.
Listen, I am being, unlike the FAA, I am being consistent. And if we're gonna say Die Hard's not a Christmas movie because it takes place at Christmas time, then Love Actually is not a Christmas movie because it takes place at Christmas time.
Thank you, Sarah. Sarah agrees with me.
No,
Yes, it is.
too bad.
It is.
Nope.
Did you
She
actually
says
text
it's
her?
no. No, she heard Sean say that Love Actually is not a movie, and she messaged me saying he's wrong, which
No.
he is.
No.
Yes, Die Hard is different.
Not a Christmas movie.
Literally, okay, in Love Actually,
Yes.
the whole thing is, first off, like one of the major plots is about a Christmas song that comes out. Second, in the entire movie, it talks about 5 more weeks till Christmas, 3 more weeks till Christmas. How is that not a Christmas movie when like the whole thing is about Christmas and a Christmas play? Have you actually seen the movie, Sean?
No, I have. Yeah, I have. I watched it with Sarah. I may have to reevaluate this, but
I
fine,
don't remember-
fine.
Yes.
I'll allow it.
See, thank you.
Sorry, Steven. Die Hard's also a Christmas movie.
There we go. See? Easy solution.
Consistent. And the correct answer for the best Christmas movie is who? I want to say The Grinch.
Which one?
Oh, it's so good. Wait, which one though? Which
Yes.
one?
Yes.
Animated. Jim
No.
Carrey.
No, it's Jim Carrey one.
Yeah, the Jim Carrey one is so good. I watched it the other day. It's so good. I love
That's
that
it.
movie.
I'm not going.
It's my second favorite. No, it's my third favorite.
Honestly,
A
it's
close
the
second,
little
though.
details in it that I think are the hilarious things.
You know, I know like all of the lines in that movie, right?
Yes.
Like all of them.
It's a great movie because as a kid, it's kind of funny. As you get older, it becomes funnier and funnier.
It's so much funnier. You just don't get like the little things that they put in for the adults, and like I had no idea that like sledding down the hill at the end of the movie, and he like lands on the front of it, and he says like the sun is shining and the powder is bitchin'. I had no idea he swore, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
It's like love it. 10 out of 10. It's just those little moments. And when you learn that he actually had to like go through like training with a CIA person to withstand like torture for that movie because like the
suit?
makeup was so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, the suit was so bad. It was like being buried alive apparently.
Jesus.
And he like would smoke with like one of those really like long antique smoke or like cigarette holders because like he would like the yak hair would like light up if
Oh
he
my
didn't.
god. I feel like that has to be one of the worst
fun
costumes
fact.
to be in. Probably as bad as like the Wizard of Oz ones. Which, if you don't know, those ones are hell. Quite literally.
Didn't they like kill people? Like, wasn't the face paint, like the face makeup?
The face
really
makeup
bad?
was poisonous. The lion costume was an actual lion skin. It was really hot. The snow in that movie was asbestos. Yeah, it's
So many people.
there's so much bad with that. Hollywood in the 50s is a time.
Yeah, the witch got like 3rd-degree burns or something after
I think she also blew a hole in her leg. Yeah,
That was not
it's-
good. Like
it's-
the stories from that film, not good. Great film, not
That's
not
just
a good
that's a
set.
film that did well. Imagine films that didn't do well in Hollywood that you don't hear the horror stories of.
Oh, there's so many. Like, oh yeah, old Hollywood. You know, there's a lot of issues.
Even modern Hollywood. Looking at you, Alec Baldwin.
Oh, there's so many issues.
No, can't go there.
my
Can't
gosh.
go there. Okay.
Yeah, that's just a horrible situation. There were a lot of things that shouldn't have happened that happened on that set too. You know, let's just
Listen,
it's
I'm
not
gonna
great.
go. I'm now gonna go into like an hour-long dive on the internet, just like Hollywood tragedies and movie sets. Thanks, guys. This is your fault.
It's probably so. Actually, no, I'm curious.
Okay, and on that note, while we go down
Tragedies.
this deep and depressing thing, let's bring some joy, and you have a good holidays. And we should be back next week. And then we'll take a break after that, I think. We'll discuss what our holiday schedule is going to be. But anyway, until further ado, that's all for the show. Thank you, and goodbye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Spare Parts Racing Podcast. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and follow the show on Twitter at Spare Parts Racing. That's Spare Parts RACIN, and on TikTok at Spare Parts Pod. Follow the hosts at Sean Chavarella, at Stephen Clary, and at Tay Moore.